we cannot ask for much better of a matchup than one of the best rivalries in the National Football League to kick off the 2025 NFL regular season. The Eagles and the Cowboys at Lincoln Financial Field. The Super Bowl champion Eagles coming off of what was a emphatic Super Bowl victory. They were tremendous throughout 2024, and next year look for a bang to start the year. This Dallas Cowboys, extremely underwhelming. A lot of controversy surrounding their 2024 offseason. But what will things look like in 2025? Well, for starters, they got George Pickens now to pair with CeeDee Lamb. They give Dak Precott a pair of weapons that few teams in the NFL have. A top 10 duo easily in the NFL. The run game should be better. They took Tyler Booker out of Alabama. What would be a word to describe him? How about man-eater? This guy is an absolute force, a tough-nosed run blocker, pass blocker, everything blocker. He gets in front of you, gets his hands on you, and you cry for help from somebody, and they won't be able to help you because Kyler Booker is an incredible blocker for Philadelphia. They know all about that. Lane Johnson, as good as anybody on the offensive line. Jordan Mailata, they lose Mekhi Becton, but they're able to fill in more on the defensive side of the ball. They took Ty Robinson out of Nebraska, one of my favorite draft picks overall. They bring in what's a good word to describe this guy? Freak Jahad Campbell out of Alabama, as if they need another great SEC defender to pair Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith. They have a phenomenal defensive side of the ball. All of them very young, so much of the money being spent on the offense. But let's talk about this matchup, truly. So we see that Cowboys secondary, right? Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs going up against Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Obviously, we're going to see an immediate advantage. Well, let's see. Okay, Dak Prescott's got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens now, so going up against Cooper DeJean, going up against Sidney Brown back there. Okay, but that's a pretty good front. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Like, I'm still seeing an advantage for the Philadelphia Eagles on both sides of the football. We haven't even mentioned the name of Saquon Barkley yet, who was easily in the conversation for an MVP last year and was, if we're not arguing about it, we should all agree that Saquon was the most valuable player. He elevated to the Eagles to be that piece for they could win the Super Bowl, and that's exactly what they did. I have the lean towards the Eagles winning this one 27-24. I believe that the Cowboys can come out and give their best punch and actually have a very high level of play, that they can come out and play a very good game. But to beat the Eagles, to play a full 4 quarters, and when the Eagles are just fine playing in a 3-point game where they can lean on defense, or they can lean on short yardage situations to be able to come out there and win 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, being able to pick it up. Haven't even mentioned Jalen Hurts, his legs in this video so far. Nick Sirianni in that tush push. It wasn't banned this offseason. They can come back and keep running that thing. Not having the Kelsey, not having Jason Kelsey anymore wasn't much of a problem. Cam Jerkins filled in just fine to be able to run that play. It was phenomenal for them. Dallas, I mean, Dak Prescott, can this guy come up with a huge win? We know that in order to prevent the Eagles from being the first team to win back-to-back NFC East titles since, what was it, like 2003, 4? It's been over 20 years since anybody has done it within that division. It's been back and forth. There's been so many different teams going through there. I mean, Dallas had those, 3 back-to-back years of 11 or more wins, or 12 or more wins before the fall off and McCarthy gets fired. So the new head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. So just see an advantage for the Eagles in a lot of places that Dallas Cowboy fans will frankly agree on. That they'll say, yeah, I mean, I understand that. It's tough. I mean, we've been working on trying to improve that run game in a sense. Haven't had a very dynamic run game since we had a very healthy Ezekiel Elliott. That would be something that the Cowboys are going to try and lean on more so in the future. Run the football right behind Tyler Booker. He's the exact type of guy to do that. The skill set of George Pickens and how that allows them to pose threats for that secondary of Philadelphia is absolutely in the physicality. And George Pickens is an element, 6'3", 210. He can go up, high point the football in a way that can rival the ability of A.J. Brown, who's been one of the best at exactly that, high pointing the ball in 50-50, more like a 65-35 in those 50-50 ball catch situations where it's just you're on another guy and you have to make a play to come down with it. So 27-24, see the Eagles pulling out this win. It's a very tough conference. It's an extremely tough division with the surging Commanders. Pivotal to come out and get a win in week 1, getting things going in the right direction. How big was it for Philadelphia a year ago to have that win against the Green Bay Packers? Gave him a lot of confidence, held on. Really felt like a game they probably should have lost, didn't play great throughout it. Green Bay went down, but then wind up pulling it out. In the end, it was like, all right, Saquon Barkley is going to be a force this season. He's going to be one of the better football players in the league. We knew about what it could be. I was like, okay, this is going to be a little bit different now with Saquon. But again, Eagles returning one of the best offensive lines. Of course, one of the best defensive lines. Can Brian Schottenheimer provide something that Philadelphia is not really prepared for with Vic Fangio as an offense? Seems rather unlikely. Will there be the sense of inconsistency early on with teams establishing drives? Don't exactly think so. These are two squads that can come out and play on time. Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts are veterans. They've been around the NFL long enough, have played in big enough games. They've been quarterbacks in high-pressure areas where they can come out and get the ball to their playmakers when they need to get that blood flowing, pumping, and also bring the heart rate down so they don't have to do everything. That's been a great way to describe Jalen Hurts as just being a methodical player, taking what he can get and using his legs when necessary. That's elevated him above a Dak Prescott ceiling because his ability, he hasn't thrown for 4,000 yards in his career. They were able to have a very good season, throwing 23 touchdowns, 15 picks. But if you run for 12, 13 touchdowns every year and you're terrific and have a great percentage in third, fourth down, which is exactly what I can see is the difference in this game. Philadelphia, a minute 45 left, 2:30 left, got the ball on that Cowboys 26-yard line, so you don't want to kick a field goal and give them a chance to come back down the field, so you go for it, 4th and 1, pick it up to seal the game. You can absolutely see a scenario like that playing out of the Cowboys have it. They need a 4th and 1 to keep a drive going. This is going to come down and be relatively close. Seeing it as a blowout seems a little bit unlikely just with all the nature, and the Cowboys played pretty well in week 1 games previously, and expecting good things out of them to start the year against Philadelphia. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments, are the Cowboys going to come up with a win? Is this one not going to be as close? Is Philly going to win it a little bit easier than I am letting on? But would love to see you consume and be around the content a lot more often and engaging. I would love to have more conversations with all of you guys in the future about football, college, NFL, all of it. We will be covering all of it this season. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30. Espinosa to the 20.